Good evening, Zachariah Jackson, BASA News. I'm back here with your honor, Mayor, ex-mayor, Sharpe James.
XXX.
XXX. But the people are pulling for you, and as I talk to the people, they are very interested in what you're doing.
Well, I'm getting beat up. I'm getting run off the road. I'm getting handcuffs put on me. And the press, the Star Ledger, they can't get enough of beating up on me,
Right.
bad mouthing me, make me a crook, a thug. I mean, you would hope
Sure.
that reporters have some objectivity.
Sure.
You would hope that they print the truth, especially when you sent them the truth.
Right.
When they have the court transcript in front of them, yet they say, Sharpe Change is convicted of fraud. The judge said, no corruption, no fraud. Don't stop using those words in my courtroom. And yet, I pick up the Star Ledger, ex-convicted, mayor of fraud, all of it is destroying my integrity.
And you actually got the wording where the judge said stop using the term.
He told him he's gonna throw him out of the courtroom. He said, if you don't stop harassing the witnesses, everyone who didn't agree with him was called a turncoat witness.
Okay.
And he said like, see, they would bring the prosecutors, assistant prosecutors,
Sure,
they had 150 of them right around on Broad Street. They would come to the courtroom, stack it.
Wow.
If you came late, you couldn't get a seat. They stacked. And they were harassing the witnesses.
Okay.
And the judge said, stop it, I'll dismiss all of you. We'll have an empty courtroom. But in America,
Sure.
I'm still the revisit of To Kill a Mockingbird. And most people don't remember that book by Harper Lee, and the movie, and the book, where an innocent black man goes on trial.
Yes.
All the evidence in his favor.
That's right.
There's nothing against him.
That's
And
right.
yet, a complete jury sent him to his death.
Yes.
And that's where I'm at today. No one believes that Sharpe James is an innocent man because the press will not print
But
the
the
truth.
people are believing it, though. The people believe that you're innocent, those that want to vote for you.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You know what? That's important what you say, because what keeps me fighting,
Sure.
what keeps me going, because people say, at your age, why are you doing this? Your health, you might drop dead tomorrow. It's because the people love support and say, hang in there, Sharpe.
Yes.
Don't I got that today? Hang in there.
Yes.
We're still with you. But now it's going to be on a legal issue.
Yeah.
And I went to the lawyer who was my first lawyer, Tom Ashley.
Sure.
It's a legal hand. I'm not a lawyer. And they say, I want to represent myself, but they say, anyone who represent yourself is a fool. I remember that rule. So I'm in the hands now of my attorney, Tom Ashley, a great firm. His son, Michael Ashley, and Chris is involved there, one of the associate lawyers. But it's just so sad that this is America. We witnessed the killing in Ukraine.
Yes.
All the tragedy around the world.
Yes.
And here we are being oppressed in Newark, New Jersey.
Yes, without a doubt. Yeah. Well, all right, in terms of your petition, you got all the signatures you need?
Well, that's a good story, because I walked into the city clerk office.
Okay.
And the city clerk, Ken Lewis, made me fill out all the papers, sign this, sign that, notarize it.
Sure.
And then gave me 3 boxes. I almost had a hernia carrying to my car.
Okay.
I needed a car. I didn't know they give you 3 boxes of petition. So now I got these raw petitions. I get my name printed on them.
Sure.
And through love, kindness, and support, I was shocked. People said, give me that petition, I'll sign it. Give me that petition. Wasn't running against the mayor. I was running for council at large. 1 of 4.
Sure.
And in 2022, 4 members of the city council are going to be new.
Sure.
Now here I am, a taxpayer, sitting at 59 Wilbur Avenue with 38 years of administrative, legislative, whatever experience you want, bottle washing, cleaning toilets in the prison, and all like that. So I decided, well, why not lend my expertise
That's right.
to help the members of the council be, hopefully, if I get voted, I could lose.
That's right.
But hopefully, help the members of the council, help the administration,
Sure.
be a team player for everyone.
Sure.
But some don't see it that way. They say, he's too independent. He know too much. We can't control him.
Now, who's saying those kind of things?
Now you don't get me in trouble. But
I'm not trying.
You're doing well.
I'm not trying.
You're doing a good job.
I'm not trying.
City Hall has a team.
Okay.
Team Baraka.
Sure.
And many of those members I know. Do I know?
You mentor.
The mayor was my former aide.
That's right.
My former deputy mayor.
Okay.
I fought that Mayor Baraka would take the place of the Honorable Donald Tucker when he unfortunately passed away.
Okay.
His brother, who was the chief of staff, Mitty, worked for me. Quintana was my aide.
Okay.
I made him councilman, the first Hispanic councilman at large in the city of Newark.
Yeah, you said that before. I remember that. Yeah.
Augie Amador was my aide. He was my deputy mayor.
Okay.
And by the way now, when I stood before the council meeting the other day, Wednesday or Thursday, and I said, could I address the council? Could I have 3 minutes just to raise a question, point of information? Every head went down.
But did they let you speak?
No. I couldn't get one vote. So you tell me, I couldn't get one vote to ask a question.
Sure.
I was shocked. I've been in City Hall 38 years serving the people. My picture on the wall as a councilman, it should be still like that. And I said, the governing body, the people were saying, we let Sharpe speak, let Sharpe speak, let Sharpe speak. And so the question was put to the council. Could the former ex-mayor ask a question? 3 minutes.
3 minutes, yes, that's legal, 3 minutes. You give your address and you give everything.
9 heads went down. 9 heads went down. It's sad. It's sad that individuals are being intimidated not to exercise their right of choice, their right of support. We were the oppressed people.
Sure.
In 1970,
yes.
and Hugh James oppressed us.
Right.
We had to create a Black and Puerto Rican convention.
Sure.
We had to create a community's choice team with beloved Ken Gibson, our mayor.
That's right.
We had to go out in the street and vote him in to get rid of the oppressors.
Right. So now do you feel that we're the oppressors?
Clearly, people offer me bodyguards now. Sharpe, I'll be your bodyguard. Sharpe, don't go out the house by yourself. Sharpe, it's so frightening now that we who were the oppressed people have now become the oppressor. That's sad.
That's sad, yes.
That's an indictment of where we are today. And if Dr. King were alive today, he would say, how long? How long? How long? Hand in hand, walk down the street together in brotherhood. How long?
That's right.
That's sad.
That's sad. That is sad.
So I'm not giving up. I picked up the paper today and I'm being called again fraud, convicted on fraud, not true. Had a mistress, not true. In court, they have what is called jinx. That means there's evidence on one side had, and they must share it with you, otherwise it could be a mistrial.
Sure.
When they shared it with us, they said, we have the person who, the contractor they claim to be my mistress, was sitting in a car, rubbing, kissing, buying tickets for her. So we knew who was the contact who helped this young lady. It wasn't wrong. By the way now, and nowhere, no one knows this. I'm being accused of helping an African-American woman make $400,000. That's criminal. No one accusing me, and they call it good government when I made 2 white women of M&M Development make $6 million. Wow. I would like to have a reporter come and go on a tour of the help I gave 2 white women make $6 million, but I'm in court
For
being accused of crook because I helped an African-American woman to make $400,000. And you know what? one of the great Newark people, Bob Kirby, I know he's famous. I got his book around it. He interviewed me while I was in prison. And he said, Sharpe, if you had to do it all over again, you wouldn't help that woman. I said, wait a minute, Bob. You got to build some more prison. Because if I get elected and I can't help African Americans who put me in office,
sure.
If I can't help an African woman when I'm helping non-African American, non-minority make $4, $5, $6 million, I'll have to go back to prison. I really felt that. Now, hey, that's a scary question, a scary, but I felt that way.
Wow.
I felt that way.
Well, okay, at this point in challenge, with your petition rejected.
Right.
What?
Now, you asked that question before. The qualified number to run at large is 1640, 1,640
votes.
Registered voters. So if they're not registered, they throw it away. Right. They don't have their address on it, they throw it away. They don't have a signature, throw it away. You get many like that.
Sure. And in your case?
I walked in with the first submission now.
Okay.
2,236.
Registered voters.
Signed by registered voters. And so I waited a week because everyone who turned in, you get a phone call. Hello, you're qualified, you're certified. Oh, hello, you're short 200, you need 300 more. It's like a process.
Sure.
Well, a week went by, no telephone call, no email, and no letter. So I said, well, hey, March the 7th, the deadline is approaching. Let me go visit the city clerk.
Sure.
So I went to his office. I'd like to see Mr. Ken Lewis, please. Well, he's not in. I said, do you mind if I wait? Yeah, take a seat right there. And I waited for 1 hour. And then I had an appointment, and I got up to leave, and he was getting off the elevator. So I said, hey, Ken, I've known Ken for 30 years or more. I said, Ken, could I speak with you in your office? Oh, sure, Sharpe. And I said, I haven't received a phone call. Everyone else had.
Sure.
I haven't received an email. Everyone else had. I haven't received a letter. He said, oh, Sharpe, you turned in way more than necessary 1640.
Wow, okay.
But I am not going to certify you. I said, wait now, you said I turned in sufficient number of petition. Everyone else got a phone call, an email. Why am I? He said, because of your arrest in 2008. And my my election attorney told me you're not qualified to run. I said, what? I said, now I know I didn't graduate Harvard. Sure. I know I didn't graduate Yale. I know Princeton wouldn't accept me. But I thought to run and a whole office, a different thing.
Sure.
He says, I'm not certifying you. I'm not going to notify you. I'm not going to certify you. And he was adamant. And I had to leave the office and go to get an attorney and say, hey, he said I had sufficient number.
Sure.
Qualified. I'm ready to be, I'm certified. Sure. I'm ready to be notified of being certified. I'm ready to be put on the ballot. But Ken Lewis, not elected but appointed, says he's not going to do it.
So, all right, and so now that's in the hands of your attorneys.
That is correct.
Okay, and so how long will you know where this is going?
Well,
because election time is coming up in May, is that correct?
Everyone asks that question, and I don't have an answer except that I put my faith in my attorney of record, and I'm being guided by him, and I would hope that the matter is resolved before the printing of ballots. Otherwise, we're wasting time, energy, and money.
When should the ballots be printed? Or when will it be printed?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't have all the answers. I would say May, like somewhere in April, right? In April. I began probably April because you generally get your ballots. You go put them on a dining room table in the mail 2 weeks ahead of time.
That's right.
Somewhere early April. Let's say early April.
So do they feel that you're gonna, if you get in office, that you're gonna somehow split a vote or something like that, or do they feel that you would work along with the administration, or do they think that you would be a sidewinder?
The truth would be they think I'm gonna win and be independent. They think I'm gonna run. They incorrectly, hypothetically, hypothesizing that I will win and become independent, become the Sharpe James that everyone know, unbossed for the people. I don't know no other way to go in all of it, but for the people who voted for you.
Sure.
Support the people.
Sure, sure.
Not about perks, not about a car,
Sure.
not about a raise. Support the people who put you in office.
And explain to the audience, councilman at large. What's the difference between councilman at large and just councilman of, South Ward?
Now remember that you're sitting next to a person who's been ward councilman,
okay,
councilman at large,
okay,
and mayor.
Well, that's why I want you to explain it. That's why I want you to explain it.
I was thinking maybe I should say re-elect. Because I was a councilman. I was a councilman at large. But I was South Ward councilman for 16 years. That's where you have a district. A city is divided up into 5 wards. You have South, North, East, West, and Central. So you had
5 wards.
5 wards. And you have an elected person who is elected to address those needs within that ward.
Okay.
Just specifically.
Sure.
But they still have votes on all that. Now the large one run like the mayor, elected like the mayor,
sure,
for the entire city.
Okay.
And they have a perspective of concern for the whole city. Because like when I was a ward councilman, I would say, I want this street, no, I want it enlarged. No, can't have it. And you would have disagreement.
Oh, okay.
Because the ward council wants everything for their ward.
For his ward.
And the council, the large said, wait a minute, we got to spread it out all.
So you serve almost like a
check
referee.
and balance.
Almost like a referee.
Yes, yeah, right.
And you were good in sports, I hear from you.
Well, it's just check and balance. I wanted to really lend my 38 years experience to administration that's been part of my family.
Sure.
They were part of my administration. We passed the baton.
Sure.
And I wanted to help them. With 4 new members of the council coming on, the East Ward Councilman, Augie Amador, is retiring. The West Ward Councilman, McCullum, is retiring.
Sure.
The South Ward Councilman is retiring.
Sure. And
then you have Mildred Crump, the long-standing, our long-tenured councilwoman at large, former council president, retired. So that means 4 out of 9 are going to be new.
Right.
And I just felt that with 38 years of legislative and administrative experience, maybe with God's benevolence, God's help, I could assist. I wasn't going to be against anyone. I wasn't going to be, someone said, hey, Sharpe, well, after you win, what about re-election? Maybe you want to run for mayor. I said, oh. At 86 years of age, 4 years when I'm looking for the best casket that they have, I'm looking for the best grave site they have. I'm not looking, I'm not looking for a long tenure now, please. Don't put me in another re-election. Sure. This was
to help the city.
The historical significance of 4 new members of the city council going in 2022.
And Sharpe, let me say this right here, that most of the people that's downtown, they're like extension of a family to you. The mayor and all the rest, I mean.
You have pictures.
Yes, as I see walking around.
Pictures, and you know, Amiri Barak, his father.
Sure.
Our famous poet.
Yes, I've met a few times, yes.
I could never forget him. He put a blanket on the street on William Street. I never could brought him up. And because of his great talent, he's a great writer, playwright, poet, lawyer for New Jersey. He would bring musicians. They would throw money on a blanket to raise money for Sharpe James to become mayor. Wow. Can I ever forget that? Can I ever forget that?
Right.
You never forget acts of kindness like that.
Sure. And love. Yes.
And I felt happy having 3 of the sons with me. Old Balaji worked for me, Mitty worked for me, Raz worked for me. And then I had another member in the mailroom. We were all family. Sure. And I just don't understand the family feud is unnecessary.
Sure. Well, I hope you guys can mend that.
Well,
because it's just too much history to let go.
We need to encourage people to vote.
Sure.
We need to encourage transparency.
Sure.
We need to talk about it. Government is best when there's transparency.
Sure.
And by the way, you know what we call it? What the best music is still played when you play the black and white keys on a piano.
That's right. I never learned how to play piano, but I've heard
it's teamwork.
That's teamwork. Yes. And the thing today is that at least now we have been dealing with people that's homegrown. Now we have maybe another 8 years, we might not have people that's homegrown or you understand? Because
and you know what else came up though, and just a sidebar. Someone sent me where the mayor in Charlotte is running for mayor.
Okay.
On film, taking bribes and everything, that's still running. And Patterson, and they all of them say, they're doing what Sharpe James did. No. Sharpe James was wrongfully convicted. Sharpe James is to kill a mockingbird.
That's right.
The judge said no corruption, no fraud. In this one instance, he made a mistake by not disclosing that he knew the contract. He knew that. And in my opinion, that's a deprivation of honest service. That's what we appeal to the Third Circuit. That's what we appeal to the Supreme Court. And now I'm reading fraud, corruption, thug, mysteries, all of that to kill Sharpe James.
Wow. Well, I guess I would be remiss not to ask, where do we go from here?
Back to that legal question. I'm going to feed to my attorney as much information I have, but he was part of the early trial.
Sure.
So he's aware of how wrong this is. He's aware of the Third Circuit in our favor, Supreme Court in our favor. Why do we always pick up the paper and they quote the prosecutor in 208? I thought if you're in a local court, you go to the district court, and you go to the Third Appellate Division, you go to the Supreme Court, you read the results at the end.
Sure.
You don't go back and say, they say he had a mistress, they say he was a thug, they say he stole and embezzled. I don't understand it. But that's the biased media. That's the biased media.
So it's mainly the media that's attacking you, more so than the media. And what's in it for them? Is it the old Star Ledger or is it?
Well, I went to Mort Pye, the editor of the Star Ledger one.
Okay.
And I said, Mort, why you keep printing all this bad news about Newark when we have people making achievements and things? He said, Sharpe, you don't understand my business. I said, well, Mort, what is your business? He said, we cover plane landings, not plane crashes. We cover plane crashes, not plane. But you know what? His apology is right over you on another issue. As he was, I received an apology that at least poor journalism, they said, on the false attacks and many of them.
Sure.
At least I got one apology.
Wow, that's wonderful. At least you got one.
We got one. Now we need one in 2022. We need one now. We need to stop. You know, in first aid, I was a first aid teacher now. Stop the bleeding. That's the first thing with a wound. Anyway, you see what? You stop the bleeding. Put pressure.
That's right.
We need to stop the bleeding right now.
Stop right now. If you overturn this and election day comes and you win, what would be, after you get in office, what would be your first act of duty?
To thank God above.
Sure.
And the people in Newark.
Yes.
Who took a poor boy from Jacksonville, Florida.
That's right.
Adopted him. Elected him councilman. Well, president of Week Great Community Council, president of Air Board 9, made him councilman at law, and ran unopposed as a councilman. ran unopposed as a mayor.
Sure.
The first ward council to become council at large. The first councilman to become mayor. To thank the Lord above and the people who demonstrated their love all my time I've been here. That's why I have to give something back.
Sure.
What I say, because so much was given to me, I have to give back to the people. I walk out, hey, and you know, when I walk out there, they don't say man, you like, hey coach, coach, hey tennis players, I'll ask you play that.
That's right, that's right.
Hey teacher, Essex County College.
Because you guys was playing tennis when it was unheard of.
Come on now.
It was unheard of. we didn't know what that rack was.
Arthur Ashe called me and said,
right.
hey Sharpe, I'm coming up there. I want to create a national tennis program in Newark.
Okay.
And he did, and became an international program. Urban City. Ashe, Bolletary, the instructor, and myself called Cities Program. In Newark, a national program.
That's right, yeah.
And now they did say, hey Arthur, can Sharpe really play tennis now? He keeps telling us, embellishing all these stories. So I said, hold on, wait a minute. There's only one thing about Sharpe on a tennis court. He ain't never seen a ball out on this side. he said, Sharpe bad on the line calls. That's all you got to worry about. But other than that, so happy to have Arthur Ashe here.
Sure.
I mean, he was a wonderful individual.
Yes.
And that program took 4,000 youth off the streets of Newark.
Okay.
Cleaned up the glass and dirt on tennis courts.
That's right.
Put the net back up instead of just jumping or swinging on, and taught them recreational tennis, collegiate scholarships, professional tennis players. One of them in the program is now starting a tennis program in Newark from that very program. Just got it the other day.
Wow.
By Bob Bynum.
Wow. Okay, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So you guys did a lot of things back in those days, which wasn't 100 years ago. Wasn't that long ago. It seemed long. But they were building blocks for what we are, where we at today. And so at some point, I mean, do you pat yourself on the back for all that you was able to achieve? Because I interviewed somebody, in fact, I sent you the interview, and the guy was talking about the work that you did with New Jersey PAC. There's so many, and when
it's built on top of African American cemetery.
That's right.
We had to overcome those issues. Everyone told us it couldn't be done. We wouldn't be found dead in Newark. Horse Mountain spent $1 million. Not in Newark. Not a safe city. No one will come. And now it's one of the leading heart centers.
Beautiful too.
But you know what? When I think about it, the Bible says, what you do for the least of my people.
That's right.
Do it. I wanted to tear down Reservation for the Poor, I call them, Columbus Home, Stellar Rice, all those places that had served their ghetto youth, that had served their Democratic votes for the Democratic Party. And they were going to tar and feather me.
Sure.
I remember they said, Sharpe, if you tear down those houses, we're going to tar and feather you. And, and people kept going to tar and feather. And I never thought I looked good in tar and feather. I just felt tar and feather didn't go with me.
Right, sure.
But we took down the Reservation for the Poor, Columbus Home, Stella Wright, Arlo Kretschmer, all of them. And we put townhouses.
Yeah.
Now, guess what happened? First people want to buy them. No, that's public housing. You can't buy it. You can't buy Columbus Home. People are fighting to get in now.
Oh my God, yeah.
Instead of out. And then something really made me feel good. When I brought Society Hill to Newark, award-winning Society Hill, you have Society Hill on Springfield Avenue, you have one of the most renowned churches there, Metropolitan.
That's right.
On the other side is Oscar Miles Village.
That's right.
Public housing.
That's right.
You know what? Sometimes you can't tell the difference.
Can't tell the difference, no.
Once you give people decent housing, they plant roses.
That's right.
They take care of it.
That's right. right.
We can't believe that everybody just want to be in the ghetto. Everybody just want to have bad house. Everybody just want to survive. People want what everybody else wants.
That's right.
Hey, we watch television. Hey, Oprah, I want to live like this. I don't know if we're gonna reach that level.
But we get the point, and that was good work that was done also. You know, because when I look at Irvin Turner, 17th Avenue, West Kenny Street, and I think that
my favorite is Prince Street, because people were scared to walk Prince Street.
That's right.
I used to go on Boy Scout. I was scared to go. Drive Prince Street from Springfield Avenue to N, and you'll see a sharp change.
Yes.
And that was the beginning of
it.
And we're going to tar and feather you sharp. My point I'm saying, it's always what's that word, not in my backyard. Being mayor, being councilman.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to make tough decisions. Sometimes you have to say no to some people.
That's right.
If you say yes to everyone, then you're in the wrong business.
So, once you get in office, you're prepared to say yes when you need to say yes, and you're prepared to say no when it's necessary.
I'm ready to build a consensus.
Okay.
I'm ready to hear opposing views. I'm ready to recognize that we need more than one opinion.
Sure.
See, that to keep Sharpe from running, destroy his legacy. There's only one opinion being generated by the opposition. Kill Sharpe James. That's wrong.
That's wrong. Yes.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. And to keep bringing up things of the past like that when the people are surely calling your name. I talk to them on the phone. I meet them when I'm interviewing people, and just the sign or the mention of you, they're excited.
Yeah.
Just the mention of you,
They're
they're very, very excited. They feel secure.
Well, the love that people have given, I have to give the love back.
Yes.
An act of kindness deserves more acts of kindness.
Yes.
And we're all brothers and sisters.
Yes, we're all brothers and sisters.
We're all in the struggle. We're all family. Mi casa es su casa, familia.
Yes. And no matter what we do, we can't take these materialistic things with us. So let us share. Let us share and build on that mountain.
I told you my experience when I was incarcerated. And many you do the crime, go down, they embrace you, they hug. The least of our people sometimes, here's the point, people who I've given jobs to, paid for their mortgage, helped pay their mortgage, helped pay their car notes.
Sure.
In some instances, even buried members of their family. The funeral home said, I'm going to bring them up if you don't bring me a check down. They not going to say, hey man, James, I need $500. We just buried something. We just buried Mr. Great Community Ariel. Hey, Sharpe, can you give $500? Give $1,000. Many of those individuals are nowhere to be found now.
Wow.
And people I didn't help. People who never came with a handout.
Sure.
Never wanted anything.
Sure.
Breaking down the door. Can I help? Here's a petition.
That's right.
What can I do? So what I'm trying to say, Zach, and I'm saying it not in the best way. Sometimes you have to get in trouble. Sometimes you have to experience dark clouds.
Sure.
Sometimes you have to be in troubled water to learn who your true friends are.
Yes. Yes. You know, and I guess I'm going to second Congressman Lewis. Good trouble. It's good to be in good trouble.
I hate it.
Good trouble, you know. So, yes. So what would you, as we conclude this interview, what would you like to finish and to express to the public right at this point?
I would hope that those who dream great dreams, those who believe in better tomorrows, those who believe in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, Fannie Lou Hamer, and all our great people, if you dream great dreams, don't give up. Even when the pressure comes, even when you stand alone.
Sure.
Keep on, keep on, keep on. You just can't give up in life. Like, there had to be those when we were being lynched to say, stop.
That's right.
Yes. That's the one in the crowd who said, that's wrong.
Sure.
John Brown.
Come on now. Yes.
I mean,
yes. We don't talk about the many John Browns. Because there was many. There was many. And at some point, I always say this, at some point, we need to have an honor day to honor those that could have had all the reason in the world to go the other way, but they stuck by us like John Brown. Mm-hmm. So one day, that's the honest thing.
And then listen, Haile Selassie, when Mussolini were overrunning his country, he stood there. They're fighting tanks and modern weaponry with spears, and he stood before the United Nations bill and said, "It is us today. It could be you tomorrow."
We see it.
Yes. And it came true.
Come on now.
So I go back to what George Branch, our great councilman, said.
Yes.
Never look down on a person unless you intend to help him out.
That's right.
That's where we are.
Well, Sharpe, Mayor, Your Honor, I'm happy to be here with you.
Look at my tea. Hold on now. I get my caffeine in it. Woo!
And
like the big cup.
And the people are pulling for you. So we
thank
hope
you
that it's going to be a
thank you
smooth
those
transition.
Who keep me going.
Yes.
I love you.
They love you also.
All I can say is it's a love affair for hanging in there, trying to bring justice, trying to bring fairness, trying to right a wrong.
Yes.
Trying to end the end, to revisit, to kill a mockingbird. Amen. And if you haven't read that book by Harper Lee, you need to go get it.
That's a strong book. Very strong. Okay. Again, this is Zachariah Jackson, BASA News. Good night.